Risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's up, sir?
Hello everyone from the internet wrestling community. I hope you all had a very enjoyable week, because I sure as hell did. How about you, fool? Did you have a fun week when it comes to the world of professional wrestling?
Oh, indeed I did, for many a reason. Isn't that right, Scholar Brian?
Allow me to snore.
Holy shit!
Are you kidding me?
We are all finally here.
Yes, all the Scholars of Wrestling are finally under one roof once again and reunited, and it feels so good. Especially with this kind of week in wrestling that we had. Oh, man, was there a lot to like.
Yeah.
There was a lot to like. There was a lot to not like. It was just like any other week, except
more on the good side.
Yeah, definitely. I was hoping you wouldn't leave it so negative.
It's very rare that there's more good than bad. Okay, but this week
we're not afraid to point out the bad shit. Nothing's always great. Nothing's always just bad. There has to be that little sprinkle of good shit and bad shit, because if there is not, then what the hell are we doing here?
There must be balance in the force.
I could have said it better myself.
As long as we're going for balance here, let's at least start off with something good. So right now, let's just kick things off the way we always like to kick things off, where we take a look at the other outside world surrounding anything else that's not necessarily WWE, or anything that's just not shoved in our faces on a silver platter, in a little segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed. Let us go ahead and peek behind the curtain. Do it, young Padawan, because you didn't catch that I called you the Padawan before. Go on, open that curtain, and let's check in on a little
Backstage News. Fourth man.
Young Padawan.
Yes, Master.
Speaking of young Padawans, as I hope you have all seen by now, the first Mae Young Classic tournament has officially concluded, and spoiler alert, your winner, drum roll please.
Drum roll. You weren't here last week, so I just went. He asked for a drum roll for me, and my response was drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
Either way.
But now that I am here.
All right, we get it. But thank you anyway. Yes, your winner of the Mae Young Classic is Kairi Sane. The Pirate Princess has defeated Shayna Baszler in a really good match. I really wasn't, again, I'm not sure what you guys thought, but I really wasn't sure how this one was going to go. But I, for one, am deeply satisfied by Kairi Sane picking up the win.
I'll say this, okay? The right person won. The right person from the beginning won the tournament. Going into it, I was like, okay, here you go. This is perfect. Everything about the winner makes sense, and makes a lot more sense than TJ Perkins with the cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's
like going in. I was like, there are a few that have a shot, but I like this one the most. And it's rare that the one I like the most actually wins. So, the right person won in my book. Okay, was it the best match of the tournament? No. But it was also... It was satisfying to watch. Okay, it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Fool? Thoughts on the Mae Young Classic?
Honestly, I kind of have to repeat what Brian just said. Was it a great finals? No, but I was entertained by it. There wasn't anything bad. I just was like, okay. It wasn't knock me off my feet or knock me out of my seat type of match, but it told a story. It was a decent story. I'm actually very happy that Kairi Sane won. Well, after finding out that before Wise that she actually did sign a WWE contract, it's like, oh yeah, I think it's kind of clear. Yeah. I think it's, but they tried their best. to make it look like, oh yeah, she made not, but no, big diving elbow for the win.
I'll say this though: the one downside that I have for this match was that the way that they planned out this match, the other contender could have been anybody. Okay, it didn't. I don't feel like the way they did that, the way they planned that match, played to her strengths.
You're talking about Kyrie now.
No, I'm talking about
Shayna.
Shayna. I'm like, that role could have been played by anybody.
I wouldn't go
in this match.
No,
I do feel
I go that way, but
yes and no.
I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this, but again, anyone can play the heel again if your goal is to get Kairi Sane over. One thing that Shayna did do, though, or actually two things, if you include the booking made her out to be like one of the few legit heels in the entire tournament. Just with the quick choke outs and sort of bullying style that she adopted. And with that build, it definitely helped her. However, one thing I did like about what Shayna Baszler did in this match, as far as the finals goes, was just the way she was selling. She started off as just being almost like no-selling a lot of Kairi's offense, but then after a while, once Kairi started going for the ribs and she started selling it like she had a legit injury, the difference was the difference was so drastic, you almost believed that, you know what, maybe she does have a legit injury here, and she made it work. She rocked it. Both ladies did.
What I liked about the story that it was a fighter versus a wrestler. And really, it's two different worlds colliding to see, quote quote, who's the better fighter. But of course, being WWE, the world of professional wrestling, the wrestler had to win.
Yeah, although I did, because of the earlier altercation between like horsewomen versus horsewomen with Ronda Rousey and her crew, that sort of to me worked as a perfect red herring and serve as a good little piece of PR for the general population. It worked for what it did, and I'm just going to say this, like I believe, Brian, you were alluding to earlier when you were comparing this to how it stacks up with the Cruiserweight Classic when that went down. All things considered, generally speaking, I actually enjoyed the Mae Young Classic way more than the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
Controversial opinion alert.
I enjoyed the Mae Young Classic more. I think the UK tournament was better around.
I agree.
For
the
the
UK tournament is
for
my
the
number
top
one.
three, but between the two that actually really, let's face it, the UK tournament doesn't really matter that much in WWE circles. You're not really seeing any of these guys other than a title match here and there at NXT shows. But the women's tournament actually feels like it matters more than the Cruiserweight tournament ever did. Because you knew from the beginning, they're like, oh, the Cruiserweights, we're going to give them time on Raw. They're going to get themselves over. No. You've seen how well that's worked out.
But at the time, who would have called that?
But, I think anybody could have called that. But... Because, once again, it's the Vince McMahon rule of thumb, okay? If you're small, you got to work that much harder, but we're only going to give you 5 minutes of time a week. Because that's how Vince McMahon works. But with women, okay, I think that the things you saw in this tournament, storyline-wise, all that, okay, we'll be seeing more of that in the weeks to come, and that's something that I'm excited for. It's rare when I can say that I'm excited for women's wrestling in the future, but hey, we're here now.
I think my final say on it is we have a better chance of seeing another Mae Young tournament sooner than a UK tournament or the Cruiserweight tournament.
Agreed.
Yes, easily.
Yes. Which leads me to a quick Scholars Quick Talk question, just for those who are uninitiated. Scholars Quick Talk question is just a quick little one-shot, what's your take on this? Not necessarily a huge discussion, but just let's get to the heart of the matter. Let's get to the heart of what you're thinking. And my Scholars Quick Talk question is this. Out of all the competitors from the Mae Young Classic tournament, who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
I really didn't have anybody.
Okay, well...
Out of the obvious... Okay, the winner.
You're talking about Kairi, yeah.
Kairi Sane.
Well, we're definitely going to be getting her.
Let's see. Candice LeRae.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like to see more of Tessa Blanchard.
I've heard a lot of her name, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot that I'd like to see, but those three names pop up the most because I knew their names before this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was an awkward placement that the first round match was Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard because I was like that.
Yeah, that was a tough call.
I'm like, you should have saved that for like semifinals, that kind of deal. But
they gotta have big matches for the first round.
I know, but come on.
I was gonna say the tournament is stacked.
Going into it, like those two were like my two. Like I want to see these two in the finals. But oh hey, they're going at it in the first round. Okay, but
honestly, I love it when that kind of thing happens. Just like okay, someone big is gonna have to go home.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of competitors in this tournament to like. There's a lot that I see coming through the pipeline in WWE circles real soon, and future is bright. And good timing because pretty much everything in the WWE is down right now for women's wrestling.
Oh, not after this. Not after this.
Not after this. On the main roster, yeah, things are kind of in the doldrums right now. But now with everybody in the Mae Young Classic, you get new names, you get fresh talent. You get actual talent. That's it.
As far as talent goes, Kairi, I think everyone saw Kairi coming. But one person I didn't really expect to like nearly as much as I did, but now I absolutely love her, Toni Storm. I know I sort of went on a tangent about her last week, but I love her.
On that.
You didn't? Yeah, it was kind of subtle. But yeah, Toni Storm is my breakout pick out of all the ladies. I think she's awesome. But again, she just recently signed a long-term contract with Stardom last I heard. So she's probably not going to be joining up with WWE anytime soon. That's the bad news. The good news is we already have the likes of Bianca Belair, who are already with the Performance Center. We already have Abby Laith, who is already in the system. And thankfully, one of my other favorite picks, just because of her style and gimmick alone, Lacey Evans is still there. I've totally loved Lacey Evans. By the time Lacey matched up with Toni Storm, I was just like, this is the match of the entire tournament. The match is great. The tournament's over. Everybody go home. Forget it. We're good.
I
like this tournament.
I can't respond to that.
You don't need to. Toni Storm and Lacey Evans in a single ring, that's enough.
The glowing in your eyes says more than enough.
The stately twinkle in my eye. Let's put it that way.
Trust me, it is more than just a twinkle. I'm going to need sunglasses with the glare that's coming out of your eyes.
Let's
for the storm.
Let's put it this way for how we feel about this tournament. Okay, out of the 3 tournaments so far, this is the most we've talked about a tournament ever in the history of this show. So, I guess that tells you how good we feel about this tournament.
Okay, closing shot. What would you rate it on the beard scale? 1 out of 5. What would you give it?
I'll go full beard.
I'll go full beard to a 4.
4 out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna do a full-on 5 out of 5 goat face. full 5 out of 5 out of the beard scale. Goat face. Let all the goats out. I love this, top to bottom. So much variety, so much talent. Do it again, please.
I'm
and bring back Tony Storm.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it was just because of all the. Remember, I started watching this tournament late, so I got a lot of people hyping this tournament up before I was able to watch it. And when I did watch it, I was kind of overhyped on it, so I was kind of.
Fair enough. Just about anything can be overhyped.
Like, it's kind of a letdown, but I am into it. But it's like people are saying it's like this is the most amazing tournament ever. Oh my god, I love you. If you're not watching this, you're not a fan of wrestling and all that. I'm watching. I'm just like, oh great, now I'm in the minority here. Why
It got overhyped.
It got overhyped for me. I'm intrigued, but not like, oh man, this is just the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think anything can be ruined like that. But once you step back, you too can appreciate the art of tiny, cute little Japanese girls diving elbows and turning into pirate meteors.
That's why, like I said, when you asked the Scholars Quick Talk who caught your eye, I was like, really? No one. It was just watching to me.
No,
but I'm not saying it was terrible, but it was just, and I'm not saying I was not entertained. I was just more in the line of, okay, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to talk about it for years to come. That type of ordeal for me.
Yeah, and I feel
like the wet towel here.
No,
you can't shut down my hype. I don't care what you do.
I just
don't. Shut down your hype, damn you.
Good, because it can't.
I don't want to.
Okay then.
Enjoy your damn hype.
I will.
Reach your 20s. Reach your.
Ha! You can't even finish your joke.
I can't at all.
That's because there's no joking about Tony Storm or Lacey Evans.
I was gonna go Tony Storm climax.
No, we're not talking about New Japan anymore.
I'll tell you this.
With how much you're into this, does it reach the equivalent of Japan climaxing?
No, it doesn't work like
the only way.
That's not how puns work.
The only way is if
Jeff reached his climax.
Ew. This is a family show, kids.
Who says that?
I just did.
No tournament. But I've never given a tournament a 5 out of 5. I never will, because there's always those couple matches that are like meh, and that does bring enjoyment down. It's like, for me, basically getting a full beard for a tournament is basically Jeff's version of a goat face. Because for me, this was as good as this tournament was ever going to get. So I just don't think there's any possible way for... There has never been a tournament where I've been sitting through the whole thing just wide-eyed at the screen going, whoa, everything about this is amazing and awesome and cool. There's always those 1 or 2 moments where I'm like, this is boring, this is stupid. That winner was dumb. That's it.
Honestly, if Marty Bell had moved on to the first round after that performance, then I would have said, yeah, I would have been right there with you. But thankfully, they got rid of her right away. So,
yeah.
But everything else I enjoyed very much.
Definitely an enjoyable tournament. The best tournament I've seen in WWE circles in a long time. And
agreed.
That's all I got to say about
That's all I got to say.
I knew someone was going to say that.
That's all I got to say.
Either way, that's our take on the Mae Young Classic. WWE, do it again and do it better. The gauntlet has been laid down by Scholar Brian. Boom. Anyway, moving on to the rest of this week in wrestling, let's move on to a little segment, or show rather, called Monday Night Raw. And I don't know about you, but I actually really like this Raw compared to the last couple weeks.
This episode should have been called the Braun Strowman Show. Because, oh my god, Braun Strowman was the big highlight of the show for me.
Braun Strowman's just a beast. That's it.
Take us through it, fool.
Well, First, the whole Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman calling out our good boy, our good giant monster among men, Braun Strowman. And it's like, no, we're just going to have a fight. Come on down and let's just fight like men. Braun comes out. They start going at it. Brock hits Braun with a German suplex. Braun just stands back up and just like, no.
Did you think that was gonna do anything?
I'm sorry. Just how Braun was able just to roll back up from that, like land on the back, roll back. I'm okay. You think a German suplex would take me down, Braun? And I'm gonna choke slam you.
Choke slam, power slam, Braun stands tall, everybody's going nuts. Great times abound. That's it.
I think the big highlight was as soon as Braun stood back up and you just see Paul Heyman outside the ring and he's like cheering on Brock. Yeah, turns to Braun. Uh-oh. He puts his hands over his mouth. Oh shit, Mikey. This is not good.
Oh, references.
Right back, lands on a choke slam, power slam. Braun does his awesome Braun yell. What else more can I go with the Braun yell?
At this point, there's nothing that Braun Strowman can do wrong.
And at this point, he just pretty much just pulled a Great Khali when he pinned the Undertaker or that one SmackDown and just had his foot on Brock's chest, celebrating with the Universal title, and just plants it over his chest. I'm going to say it right now. I said it. I posted it on Twitter, and I'm saying it now on Scholars of Wrestling. Braun Strowman is now officially at that level where he doesn't need to be Universal Champion. He's now bigger than the belt, but that's not stopping him. He's going for that belt anyway, just because he can.
It will actually elevate it. It'll be good for the title.
It'll elevate the belt, not elevate the man holding the belt.
Yes, totally agreed.
Brock, he can now. He's like in the same level as John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. He can now go on and just face all these part timers, and it'll just be a high profile match. What they are doing with Braun Strowman is just nothing more than perfect. If we said anything like this last year, it would have been like what kind of shit are you guys smoking? That
Braun Strowman, really?
Braun Strowman, are you serious?
It's like Braun Strowman, really?
Remember when they were talking about Braun Strowman versus the Undertaker last year, and we were like, no.
It's like I like the guy. I like his look, but my God, trying to throw him into something that big too soon? The man's greener than fresh cut grass.
And now this year we were upset that he didn't get the.
And now we get to right now, and that fresh cut grass all of a sudden evolved into one giant tree.
This is one instance out of thousands. Like 999 times the WWE have fucked up a superstar's progression. Okay.
But not now.
This is the one time where everything has gone perfect, everything has gone according to plan. Braun Strowman is quite possibly your top guy in the company right now.
Oh, I'm going to say he is the top guy in the company right now.
Where everyone's all behind him.
He's getting the pops that that they want other people to be getting. Okay, he's getting the pops that the WWE thinks Roman Reigns should get.
I was going to say, speaking of top guys and pops and all that, what'd you think of round 3 of Cena Reigns, the promo war?
Oh, Cena rapes him again.
Really?
Okay,
the only real, it's the weakest of the 3 confrontations between Reigns and Cena, but that's not really talking down on it because a lot was said, and the big highlight was John Cena's final word of how if he was a drug test, Roman wouldn't be passing him. It's like, oh, that's it. You brought in the failed drug test. You are done.
Take out the shovel. Finish burying the sand. This feud, okay, if Roman Reigns wins, Okay, it doesn't matter because John Cena has verbally buried him so badly on the microphone the last 3 weeks that no one believes any of this. It's one of these where out of the two top guys, John Cena is so clearly the winner here. that
I do think, however, that Roman Reigns feels like he's getting a little bit more comfortable in this kind of environment, and he's willing that he can. He's still getting demolished. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like he's hanging a little bit better this time.
But here's the problem:
it's because they're actually booking him as how they should have been booking him from the beginning, as an asshole.
But here's the problem, okay? It's too late. Okay, you don't start doing it right. You don't start building up a guy right when you already have him in a program with the top guy who's looking to bury the fuck out of you. That's it. Yeah. They go into it, okay? They give Roman Reigns the worst writers ever with the worst comeback lines ever.
Ticket sales
heard.
Are awesome.
Saying
that in a half-empty arena.
Thank you.
Oops.
I'm like, and you just let John Cena run wild. You don't give him script writers. You just let him go. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, one guy is so clearly on another level than the other guy. It makes the guy that you want to. This is the feud that is supposed to be
the passing of
the torch. Okay, Roman Reigns is supposed to become the new John Cena at the end of this feud, but holy shit!
It couldn't be any more wrong that Roman Reigns is not the guy to be taking the torch from John Cena. I'm sorry. With how the crowd has been looking at him, how they're able to see right through him on what WWE is trying to do, he can never be that guy.
John Cena is running circles around Roman Reigns, and it's not even close. Okay, he does have a point, Roman Reigns, when he says that I've enjoyed more Roman Reigns matches over the last couple years than John Cena matches, because when he gets put in a match with people that work well with him, it's a very good show. But, okay, this is an instance where athleticism will only get you so far. Okay, if you're going up against the top guy in the company, you need the skills to be able to handle him in all aspects. Okay, and this is just showing that, oh God, Roman Reigns is nowhere near that level yet.
Then again, very few people are. Which, speaking of verbal beatdowns, I would be remiss if we didn't continue this show without bringing up the Miz Enzo segments.
First off, we want to congratulate the Miz and Maurice.
Yes, in all seriousness.
On having a baby Miz on the way.
Yes.
A baby Miz.
Unless it's a girl, then I guess it's a baby Maurice. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
But yes, congratulations to the happy family.
And what was the point of this?
The point of this whole segment?
Well, Miz and Maurice, honestly, understandable. But what was the point of having Enzo come out just so Miz can just give him the verbal beatdown of a lifetime?
Here's what it is. Okay, this is WWE punishing Enzo. Okay, because it's well known that he has the ego of 1,000 men backstage. Okay, so put him in the ring in a mic battle.
This was like a public intervention, really.
Put him against the Miz, who has been calling people out since the beginning of the year, just throwing all their shit out on live TV, okay, and have him just epically verbal beat down you until like you're worse than nothing, because that's what the Miz is good at. People like to talk shit about the Miz, but Miz is the most prolific shit talker in the WWE in recent memory.
Yeah.
So if you want if you want to take someone down a few notches, okay, the two people who we've talked about today who can actually do it are doing it in spades. Okay, John Cena verbally beating down Roman Reigns, The Miz verbally beating down Enzo, and let's face it, Enzo needs it.
Yeah, this, again, it was just such a surreal thing to watch. Just not only how completely and just unabashedly just Miz just ripped into Enzo, even just looking at Enzo's face during the whole point, he went from, okay, I'm just doing a promo here, how you doing, to I'm going to punch you in the face, Miz, legit, to, okay, it's starting to sink in now, maybe you got a point, I got nothing else to say. It's
because this really felt like the WWE told Enzo you're gonna have a promo segment with the Miz. So Enzo goes off and they're like, okay, Miz, come over here. Okay, what we're gonna need you to do is go 100% in harder than you've gone in on Dean Ambrose, harder than you've gone in on Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan. Okay. You need to make sure that the point that we want to get across sinks into his head. And I think mission accomplished.
And how it's translated seamlessly into the match they had afterwards. Both these guys, again, Enzo might be a little bit on the greener side compared to The Miz, but then again, at this point, who isn't? But really, I love how the smack talk just kept on going and going and going, culminating in Enzo's things. The real question you gotta be asking is, who's your daddy? Like, oh, snap. And then there's the epic beatdown afterwards, the justified one. It's like,
I think what I don't like about this segment and the match, it wasn't a great match. It just cultivates the big question: what is the, like, other than to verbally destroy Enzo? What was the point of this?
Character progression for one of the most dynamic, loud, outspoken characters that WWE has right now. Because you brought up a real good point. We're talking about obviously the story going into Enzo versus Neville at the pay-per-view is obviously someone like Enzo, who's just like literally a smack talker Skywalker. He can't hang with Neville, someone who's like literally the king of the cruiserweights right now. He can't hang with him physically, so cue up the 80s music and the 80s training montage, because that's what he's going to need right now. It needs to approach this from an angle of either he gets his ass into gear and then comes back, busts out some crazy moves against Neville and wins, or he loses to Neville. That's the ultimate wake-up call of, okay, I really need to put my money where my mouth is, literally, and start training, and then get the training rolling on taking Enzo up to the next level, and then he comes back and eventually wins a title, or feuds with The Miz, gets the Intercontinental title after he loses to Neville. I don't know. Just whatever that arc is, this is going to be the catalyst that really gets the Enzo Amore character, gets his butt into gear, starts training again. We start taking him more as a serious in-ring singles competitor, not just some random-ass cheater. And this will be the first step in that direction of turning Enzo into a serious singles competitor. This, in my opinion, is one of the best ways they could have done to start kicking it off. All they got to do now is follow through.
I would believe that if Vince McMahon didn't hate Enzo Amore so much.
Well, then that's when Enzo the man comes into play. If he starts actually taking those shots seriously, and he starts cleaning up his act and starts gaining more favor with the key people in the office, including Vince, then maybe we could start seeing this storyline come to fruition on screen. But right now, the ball is in Enzo's court.
We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Because right now, as usual, okay, and Enzo is... I'm not liking Enzo. I think he's annoying. I want to like Enzo.
And that's the thing. Everyone wants to like Enzo.
Most people already do.
Well, the fans do, but even people in the back, they see the talent, they see the potential in Enzo. Everyone wants to love Enzo, but not everyone else does. So the key is going to be, how do we make everyone believers in Enzo? And really, at this point, only Enzo can do that.
I think the part when I said where does it go from here, there when you said Enzo and Miz Intercontinental title, that's not going to happen. No way. Enzo's now officially a member of 205 Live. This was just a one and done. I don't see anything more coming out from this.
It can still be a grudge match in the future.
I think
there's been crossovers before.
I think, yeah, I'm not convinced. I believe this is just a one and done.
Yeah, that was more of an extreme example, but just given how well Enzo and Miz interacted with one another, I can't help but to see some possible potential here. It may not happen right away or in the near future, but hey, I'm seeing some good things that are possible in that dynamic alone. Just saying.
Enzo Amore going for the Intercontinental title?
Well, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Enzo now. But I'm not talking about Enzo now. I'm talking about Enzo 6 months from now at least.
No. I'm not convinced.
Wait and see. Wait and see.
As long as he's on 205 Live, no.
Well, wait and see. That's all I can say anymore. Wait and see.
All right, let's see. What's the date? The 9/13? All right. Well, I'll remember this 6 months from now. Let's see where Enzo's at.
Okay. But in the meantime, we do have one nice little nugget of joy for everybody. Because we found out that Asuka is coming to Monday Night Raw.
Yay!
This will be fun.
Well, really.
Asuka can murder everyone. Good.
Look, the reason Asuka is going to Raw, look at the women's division on both shows. Raw definitely needs Asuka a lot more than SmackDown does. SmackDown, when it comes to the women's division, is doing just fine.
Oh, yes.
But when it comes to the women's division on Raw, oh, that is a sad boat to be a part of. And hopefully, because I haven't called her that by this yet, Asuka is that one life preserver that'll just bring the whole ship of the women's division back up and actually, put some life into it. Which do you think WWE is reaching for more? Asuka versus Alexa Bliss or Asuka versus Nia Jax for her first official title win? I guess this is a Scholar's Quick Talk.
In my opinion,
the better match would be Alexa Bliss, but I feel like it's more
getting the moment of her first title win against someone bigger. Yeah, there's good ways to look at it on both ends.
Yeah, the better match would be against Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
The better moment would be Nia Jax.
I personally if I had to cast a vote, gun to my head right now, I'd say Alexa Bliss, just because I feel like it would be revolving around Alexa retaining her title against Nia, and then just being like a smarmy, smug heel like only Alexa can do, and she's like, I am unstoppable, and then Asuka shows up ready to eat her alive. I'm like, and then she's like, oh no, I'm dead.
Yeah, we're most likely going to get the match over the moment.
Yeah.
Because
the memes on the internet say, why not both?
Well, really, I prefer the match over the moment.
Well,
and I swear to God, if they make this a triple threat match, no.
It has to be. Her first title win has to be a one-on-one.
So anyway, that's Monday Night Raw. Boy, there was a lot to take in there.
Oh, and of course, we just ended with Braun Strowman destroying John Cena.
Because why not?
Send everyone home happy.
Because why not? Because neither guy had to lose, or neither guy should lose, and they did it the best way possible, one ending in a DQ. Even though the question that even Corey Graves pointed out, the refs saw Braun Strowman throw the stairs at John Cena. Why wasn't that part the disqualification? Why did they have to bring the stairs into the power slam onto the stairs for that to be the disqualification?
Because he's scared of Braun.
Okay.
That's my logic anyway. That's my own personal headcanon, let's say. That's all I got anyway.
It's the equivalent of the great Khali eliminating himself in that over-the-top rope challenge.
Yeah, because that's how that worked.
That's what that moment was.
Damn it, great cheese!
The great cheese always manages to come back, even if we don't want it.
Speaking of great cheese, that was Monday Night Raw, but we still have a lot more to talk about on this week's edition of SmackDown. Starting with the Jinder Mahal segment, which I thought was a little weak, but it's...
Here's the thing. I understood what he was going for. I understand the whole thing of basically him turning the whole racism thing against the audience. It's like, oh, that's what I'm doing, the same as what you guys do to me. And I'm just, once again, it's back to the whole racism thing. It's like, great, now he's just nothing, he's going back to being nothing more than the racism champion. I understood what they were going for. I didn't think it succeeded very well.
I'll keep this short. I'll keep this sweet. It sucked. I hated every moment of it. That's it.
I do like that one line you said, though, where he looked like Pikachu having a seizure.
Of course you would, Mr. Pokemon.
Come on. I mean, that legitimately made me laugh. I don't care what you say.
I don't facepalm.
There was nothing.
It made me laugh and facepalm.
For me, there was nothing funny to this. It wasn't well thought out. This had Road Dogg written all over it, and his humor segments are never good. So
this segment was the one time I'm just looking at Jinder Mahal and I'm just like, dear God, get the title off him. This was honestly one of his worst segments. Like I said, I saw the idea of what they were going for, but it fell flat on their face. It did not work.
They didn't have the right guy to do it. You need to have the chops in order to do it. I'm sorry, just Jinder Mahal.
And then there was one thing he said that I was just literally, I'm just like, what does that even mean? I wish I remember what it was. All I remember is I was watching SmackDown and he said it. I was like, wait, what? I even rewound it. I was like, what does that even mean? Damn it! I actually hate that I don't remember it.
I was going to say I was genuinely curious just to hear what you were talking about.
I guess I got to look it up on YouTube after the show, but
because it's rare when Scholar Tarek just what the hell is going on?
It was, and I guess I didn't. Yeah, the segment failed. No other way of putting it.
Hey,
it was a fail. This was actually the lowest point of SmackDown for me.
Okay, and well, how about this for a high point? One thing I really just didn't see coming: the New Day defeating the Usos to become the new SmackDown Tag Champions.
We love us some hot potato
in a Sin City street fight.
Yeah, I did not expect the titles to change hands at all here.
This is the one thing of the whole, they were doing this. They did the same thing with Charlotte and Sasha. Like they were all both on equal levels, so they're just trading off matches.
Yeah, the only the problem with Charlotte and Sasha is they kept it going on for too long. As long as this ends at Hell in a Cell.
That's the thing. This match, this feud has to end. It's something that you and I talked about last week, Fool, about Hell in a Cells, with how personal rivalries can go, and the only way they can end is in the cell. Mm-hmm. This is another example of booking the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view right. First, it's with Kevin Owens, which we'll talk about later, to a big extreme. And also including, and then you add this. How long have the New Day and the Usos been going at it?
About 3 months now.
Maybe a little longer.
It certainly feels longer.
It feels longer, but I'm not tired of it.
No,
because I got tired of Sasha and Charlotte. I'm not tired of this. I'm loving every single second of this.
Because every single match that they have, there's something new. The chemistry between these two teams are great. I can watch them go at all times. The only problem is okay, you just need to know when to branch off and go do other things before bringing it back full circle. And hey, let's do it again. Okay, we need a break, and that's why we were so burned out on Charlotte and Sasha last year, because they built up Hell in a Cell. Once again, okay, going back to Tarek's point, they built up Hell in a Cell. Personal rivalries come to an end. They built it up. The first ever women's Hell in a Cell match. That should have been the end.
But
okay.
the difference between the women's match and this one is that I even said it on the show around that time. Their match was more gimmick than feud. It was just because it was at the pay-per-view. If it was just a normal regular pay-per-view, there's no way.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It wouldn't be a Hell in a Cell match. It would just be another match between the two. It's only because it was at Hell in a Cell. Oh, these two are fighting again? Let's put it in Hell in a Cell and quote quote make history.
Pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
So now, okay, you're playing hot potato with the tag team championships. It's cool though because the matches are always great
and the storytelling's
intriguing. Good. But okay, in my eyes, whatever happens at Hell in a Cell, move on afterwards.
Yes.
And later on, bring it back. Give us some time off from these two teams, because I don't want to start souring on these two teams. But I feel like if they keep going after Hell in a Cell, it's going to start happening.
And hell,
because that's when I started souring on Sasha and Charlotte last year. After Hell in a Cell, because it's like, okay, they're done. Oh wait, they're not. Son of a bitch!
It was the only women's feud that WWE gave a shit about. That's why it's because it was. Oh, they are the first of so and so. They're the first of so and so.
I understand that.
It reached the point where it's like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to know. Yeah. I'm not about to see this.
I don't need to see any more firsts of this.
And with the rising credibility of Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus either team would be amazing.
Which is why I'm pretty sure Hot Potato comes back into effect at Hell in a Cell. So I see a Gable and Benjamin versus Usos.
Now that would be rad
in the future. So I feel like this feud was booked so you could get like 5 months of great matches. Okay, you get titles to change a few times, have some unpredictability going. Okay, but it was always going to end in the same place. Heel tag team champions versus Gable and the returning Benjamin.
Still,
But this match was awesome.
Yeah,
this match was great.
Again, and especially when they had that's a really unexpected finish. That I gotta ask, did either of you see that coming?
Once the ending of the match actually started once Uso number 1 went through the table, I'm like, yep, that's it, they're losing.
That was pretty much my thought too, because once did I want it to? I don't like Hot Potato, as anybody as everybody knows. So did I want the New Day to win the tag team championships? No, I didn't. But I don't hate it. Do I like it? No. But am I at the point where I was with the New Day as tag team champions last year, or Charlotte versus Sasha last year, where it's like, I hate it, get off my TV? No. The matches are still good enough. I'm still invested enough to be like, okay, I'm cool with it for now.
Bring it on. But anyway, like we were alluding to earlier, there's yet one more little highlight that does need to be addressed, and that is the Owens McMahon segment.
Oh
dear! Owens
The Owens storyline of SmackDown in general this past week was intriguing. First, him basically trying to pull a CM Punk. He's like, "Welcome to the new Kevin Owens show." He's pretty much going, "I want my faces on the turnbuckles. I want an airplane. I want my face all over the Titantron 24/7.
I like how he played true to character and was like, Sami Zayn, immediately fired.
Immediately fired.
That's it.
Fashion Files. Oh, you like that show? Well, I don't. Canceled. Speaking of which, are they officially on 205 Live now? Or was that just a one-time deal?
I have no idea yet.
Well, remember, technically, Tyler Breeze could be a cruiserweight.
But still, I'm like, did them arresting, who did they arrest?
Drew Gulak?
Yeah, Drew Gulak, yeah. Was that like a one-and-done deal, or are they just going to show up on random shows and just...
I hope they go random shows.
I hope they just randomly show up on like Raw, SmackDown, even NXT, and just be like, you!
What the hell are we doing here?
As fun as that would be, I'm not for that because I'm loving the brand split. That'll be basically fading the line of Raw and SmackDown guys can show up on any show they want. I don't want it that. I like two separate brands. It looks like the only real exception is John Cena because he's John Cena. He could be a free agent.
He's a free agent,
but yeah,
because it's John Cena. But it's cool.
But yeah, back to Kevin Owens, and then
if he wasn't a made man. Before this episode.
Yeah. Oh, he is now.
Oh, yeah. It's very rare when you get to beat up Vince McMahon and you're not made for life in the WWE. Okay.
Screw the WWE title. It's how do you get to beat up Vince McMahon?
One team got to beat up Vince McMahon and it didn't work out because of John Cena's The Nexus. Okay, that's the only time where someone beat up Vince McMahon and they weren't made men in the WWE. Welcome to the crew, Kevin Owens, because everything about Kevin Owens this episode was amazing. Everything.
I don't know about you guys, but like first, I love basically the verbal beatdown that Vince gave Kevin Owens if Owens tried to sue him.
Yeah, Vince actually for the first time in a while came out like Vincent Kennedy McMahon on live TV.
I was going to say I couldn't really tell what it was at the time, but it seemed like Vince was in top form this time.
Yeah, he was fully in Vincent Kennedy McMahon character this time.
He was Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, and it's rare that we get to see that anymore. And just that headbutt, dude.
Yeah, it's like I can just hear him say in the back, it's like headbutt me in the face, damn it!
As hard as you can.
From the second they had,
if I'm not bleeding, you did it wrong.
From the second they had Kevin Owens go like, I can attack a McMahon. I'm like, gee, I wonder where they're going here. Boom! Headbutt. Vince is bloody. He's like, you said I can attack a McMahon. Vince is like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. You can't tell me what to do. Oh my God, that's right. I'm 70 years old. Fall. I'm a 70-year-old man. Fall. Wow. And then that frog splash that completely, oh man. And then of course you see Stephanie come out and I'm just like, I don't know about you guys, but for a second I saw Kevin Owens' face when he saw Steph. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to like super kick Stephanie or something.
I wanted him to do it.
I thought he was going to do that so bad. I'm like, oh my God, are they even really going to pull Triple H on this? Like, you super kicked my wife. I gave you the Universal title. This is how you thank me?
But yes. here's where I feel this is going.
I feel like that will happen eventually.
I feel like that's where it's going, where WrestleMania this year will be Triple H versus Kevin Owens. Triple H has to take down his own creation. Because Triple H basically gave Kevin Owens the power to feel the way that he does. Mm-hmm. Okay, through NXT, through basically handing him the Universal title on a silver platter. Kevin Owens.
That would be spectacular storytelling. Yeah. I want that to happen at WrestleMania.
Not to mention, I for one would be way more invested in a Triple H match than I have been in quite a while.
Yes.
probably the last time. Well, even I felt that because I'm gonna say it myself. I'm gonna be in your shoes for a quick second. The last time I felt that for a Triple H WrestleMania match is when he faced Daniel Bryan.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Because they built it up. They built that up so well over a period. What was it, a year and a half?
Yeah,
they built that up. This is even longer.
It is
of a build.
If they incorporate that whole coming up from NXT thing, yeah.
I gave you the power to do whatever you wanted to do in NXT, and you took that. I handed you the Universal title on a silver platter, and you took it and ran with it. And this is how you repay me.
Just the video promo alone for WrestleMania, and that would just be beautiful. You have the picture, you have the footage from NXT. You have the pictures of him, Triple H, and Kevin Owens standing standing next to each other when he won the NXT title, when he won the Universal title. It's there on a silver platter. Let it happen. But like I said earlier, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're talking about
as of right now, the McMahon storyline. It's
this is it. This is Kevin Owens. Now he's facing Shane McMahon at Hell in a Cell. Yeah. Oh my! It's going to be amazing.
Like I don't think you need to build this anymore. You're there now. That's it.
Absolutely.
It's so funny when it's coming to pay-per-view build-up. Both No Mercy and Hell in a Cell are doing phenomenal.
Yes.
I totally agree.
I'm actually these are like the lower ranked pay-per-views. These aren't one of the big four. But my God, am I really looking forward to seeing this shit.
Oh, big time.
I'm sold.
Which leads me to my final question for this evening. Which show is better, in your opinion, Raw or SmackDown this week?
The Raw versus SmackDown live segment?
This is the first time in a while where it's actually been like really tough. Because I'm gonna go with Raw because of how shit that Jinder Mahal segment was. Like that, I feel like the Kevin Owens. I don't know. Like because I think about the Kevin Owens McMahon thing, and it brings it back up. But then I think about Dolph Ziggler's dumb shit with the entrance. I'm making fun of everyone's entrance, and that's gonna lead into my feud with Bobby Roode. That's it. But I'm making fun of everyone's entrance. I'm gonna try to do glorious, and Bobby Roode's gonna beat my ass. And then Jinder Mahal. Okay, I liked. I'm gonna go with Raw.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Raw too. Not just because of SmackDown being a little bit weaker, but just because Raw was that strong between the Cena Reigns banter round 3, Miz and Enzo, of course, that throttled me. Finding out Asuka's coming to Raw and Brawny the Strowman doing his Brawny the Strowman thing.
Yes, Brawny the Strowman wins all. Okay.
Yes, it was just way too much fun.
If he doesn't get beaten down during the show, that Raw wins. That's it.
There you go.
But it's
so apparently he is finished with Roman. Apparently so.
Until they pick this up.
For now,
he literally
after he wins the title and Roman comes out, I'm not finished with you.
Oh man, just so much fun and potential.
Have they done I'm not finished with you with Brock Lesnar yet?
Nope. He hasn't had any time. He hasn't had any moment to do that.
He's still got time.
It needs to happen.
Oh yes. Man, when it does, oh baby, it's gonna be fun.
For me, I'm still at a toss here. I've been thinking about it. I don't want to. I feel like it's gonna go into it basically add a bingo to this.
Do it.
I guess I'm gonna go with Raw, but just for a small amount, because SmackDown had some great moments too of Kevin Owens I'm not I'm intrigued on what Dolph is trying to do. I understand what he's going for. I just want to see where it leads into the bigger picture before I can make any final judgment on him. So he's like, oh, do I need a gimmick to impress you people and all that shit? Granted, there was no Bobby Roode, so that was kind of heartbreaking. Because when it comes to actually watching SmackDown live, I haven't seen Bobby Roode live yet, so it's kind of heartbreaking that I haven't seen him live on SmackDown yet. It's always either DVR'd or I missed it. That Jinder Mahal segment. It makes me want Jinder to drop that belt so hard. He's honestly lowering the what's the word?
The value.
Lowering
the value and prestige. Thank you, of the WWE title. And I understand because the bigger names are going for the Universal title doesn't mean you have to shit all over what the history and the prestige and all the people who held that belt.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I wanted SmackDown to do it because of how big they put Kevin Owens over and the great tag team title match. But SmackDown was a story this week of a lot of good, too much stupid. That's it.
Not just stupid, just like WT. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. No hiding around it. This is gonna be my one F-bomb. What the fuck? With Jinder.
Oh boy.
That's my one F-bomb in the episode.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So yeah, Raw takes it. Braun Strowman wins.
So anyway, those are our thoughts on this week in the world of wrestling. Now, we're tagging you in. You, our viewing audience. What did you think of this week in wrestling? Which one did you like better, Raw or SmackDown? What did you think of the Mae Young Classic? Do we need more Star Wars references on this show? We want to hear it all. So, of course, let us know throughout any of the avenues we've got available to you on the internet. If you're listening to us on YouTube, leave us a comment, thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you're feeling like. You can also track us down on Facebook. Just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. And, of course, if you want to actually chat with us and join the conversation in a little bit deeper way, you can check us out on Twitter. Starting with our main page, check us out at ScholarsOW for all the latest wrestling uploads. Whenever everything is uploaded, all the latest, right as it happens, right in your email thread and all your Twitter machines, and I know my technology, blah. But anyway, you can also...
What was that?
A little bit of verbal diarrhea.
Okay.
I'm getting tired. But before I get too tired, we do have to also plug our own personal Twitter accounts so you can get a running tally of all the latest running commentaries, just commentaries on anything and anything in between. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avatar.
Scott Bryan, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
Was that the aliens coming through onto you?
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Jesus Christ, my eyes were just like,
But meanwhile, you can also check me out on Twitter at I'm Robbie Rage.
He has a very sexy picture, so you can check him out.
Okay, I don't know really what to say to that.
It's getting weird now.
Hey, honestly, when you just said you can check me out,
please. Okay. You, unfortunately, for better or for worse, you know who we are, even if you know more than you need to. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all next week. I can't believe you went there.
Oh, I got plenty more of that coming.
Please don't.